Hello, I'm Gavin Marco, and this is my Psyched Up project. I'll be talking about self-talk, specifically in the rehabilitation process. Self-talk is very beneficial because it creates a more positive mindset and a can-do attitude towards a task. And while in the rehab process, it can be a very debilitating process where many will look down and lose their faith in their ability to see improvements in their actions. And so it's very important to promote this positivity through self-talk and other actions in order to keep them going through this process and make it easier for them in the long run. The article I read was off of Sports Discus, and it was called The Effects of Instructional and Motivational Self-Talk on Balance Performance in Knee Injured. The article had 3 main points. It was talking specifically about the use of any sort of self-talk, improved balance performance compared to the patients that were the control group or didn't use any self-talk. Whether this came in 3 different forms. One was instructional, which was more about different cues during the movement, such as staying bent at a degree at your knee and just maintaining your center of gravity. The second one was more just motivational self-talk, where they would give you uplifting advice. And the third was just self-talk in general, where they would just say something to themselves in order to stay on track with their exercise. This decreased the user's anxiety and increased the self-efficacy of the groups compared to the control group. But they did find that if you were to continue this test, specifically dividing between precision events and endurance or strength events, the motivational self-talk would be more of an advantage to those strength and endurance events, while the precision events would need more of an instructional task, such as keeping focus or however that might come, depending on the event. So how does this relate to me? Throughout my time as an athlete, I ended up tearing my ACL, and through my rehabilitation process, we didn't talk so much about the psychology behind it and just more so why we do this and how you have to keep a positive mindset. Self-talk, I believe, would have been a positive feedback loop for me specifically in order to keep that positive mindset while looking down on myself, in order to keep that positive attitude and build those self-efficacy in myself in order to do this. I know for me specifically, jumping was a hard part since I didn't have proper technique in my one knee. So I was just trying to find the motivation to stay with the program towards the end there when I couldn't figure out how to quite jump properly. But eventually it came through. In the future, though, I think we can expand on this to other parts of life other than just exercise or just in the rehab process. I think it's important to find those different areas and just become more positive people in general. I feel like in different situations, just like the precision and the endurance or strength events, different types of self-talk might be more helpful, specifically for person-to-person basis. Because I find that someone that might be very analytical might prefer more of an instructional, keep me on task, I don't want to mess this up, versus someone that's more emotional based might be even more of a just scream at me, get me hyped up kind of attitude. And how this applies to yourself and other people is something that you can kind of figure out on yourself, creating the best outcome for yourself and your situation or the task you're doing, depending on the process you're in. But in the future, I feel like as long as we keep building on that positive mindset and increase in performance and being goal-driven, I feel like it'll keep on building up those feedback loops through self-efficacy and expand our potential to become better athletes using not just our bodies, but also our mind. And here's the source I used.